Man, so that's annoying. I set a recording max of 30 minutes, which um I didn't mean to, so I apologize. But anyways, but right now I try not to have more than four things on my plate, and right now until one clears up, I mean honestly three things on my plate. So right now until one thing clears up, I don't want to pick up anything else. So right now the offers that I'm making are just for the heck of it. If I see something that I think is going to be a good deal, then I'm like, let's let's try to make it a better deal, because my bases are loaded right now. So I only want to take something if it not just that it's a good deal, it has to be a really good deal. So maybe it makes a lot of sense to buy the property at 50,000, but maybe I put the offer in at 35,000. And if they take it at 35,000, then okay, cool. We're gonna find a way to make it happen. But for the most part, I mean, 90% of my business is just, hey, I'm running the numbers. Here's the best offer that I got for you. Take it or leave it. And that way I get the rest. I get peace of mind. I go to bed. I don't have any qualms or anything. I don't force the numbers to work. I don't fudge the numbers. Very disciplined with the numbers. It either works or it doesn't. And I keep it moving. But what I do is everything I see, I put the offer in where I know the numbers are going to work. And I give myself that cushion, right? So what that means is that not a lot of deals are going to get done. You know what I mean? I probably last year I did five. I had added 5 units to the portfolio. This year I'm aiming for 8 or 9, right? So it's not, but in order to get that, I probably have to shoot like 10 shots. I got to shoot like 10 shots for each one that I get. So I'm probably going to end up putting in 90 to 100 offers, and I might need to see 150 properties or 150 deals to make that happen. And people are like, "Oh, these numbers are crazy." Well, this is what it takes. I don't know what you thought. What did you think? I like Oh, I know what you were thinking. You're watching HGTV, right? With the wife that paints seashells that she picks up at the shore, and the husband that photographs squirrels for a living with the budget of 700,000. And you see that they only have three properties, so maybe you think that I only look at three properties. No, I wish. You know what I mean? Some properties don't make sense. Some properties aren't zoned the way I want it to be zoned. Some properties are near a trucking company, and I just can't imagine anyone living with the amount of noise. Some properties are near a cemetery, and I'm not buying. I am not buying near a cemetery. And some properties make perfect sense, but the numbers don't, and the offer you give the seller, doesn't work for them. So you guys have to part with. There's so many things that go into it, so it's completely and Philly is ridiculous. I mean, and then the competition is there. So sometimes I put offers in, I don't even hear back. I just see it go under contract, and okay, cool. I understand what happened there. But no, I'm typically gonna look at 100 to, and it sounds crazy, but if I'm looking at it sounds crazy, but if you look at 10 houses a month for the year, that's going to get you at 120. So if I'm saying 150, as a real estate agent who has access to it, that's really a conservative number. Those numbers are probably higher. I easily probably am confidently look at 200 houses in a year. So, if you thought that you were not going to be doing similarly, then you're probably right, because I'm trying to pull off 9, 10 units. You know what I mean? So I have to do the work that's gonna give me that number. If you're only looking at to do one or two, you might only need to look at 20 houses, maybe 30 houses. Look at 30 houses, put an offer in on 20 of them. Get two of them accepted. Boom, you're good, right? But when you're doing the bigger numbers, you need to look at more deals. And again, that's the number that works based on what I think a deal is. Now imagine if you don't know what a deal is. Now you're looking at everything, you're wasting everybody's time, including yours, and that's just not the best way to play this game. So I hope that this has been helpful. Um, oh, we didn't even go through everything. Give me 1 second. Let me mute the phone because it keeps going off. All right, phone is muted. My apologies about that. But so yeah, so moving forward, you want to lead. I say all that to say you want to lead with your best offer. After that, you get in a contract and you start getting bids for the work that needs to be done. I probably would have put that when you're writing the offer. Well, no, before you get the bids, you want to try and get a pretty decent scope of work. Scope of work sounds like it's super complicated, but what I tell people is to break it down into sections. So you got your exterior, you got your backyard. Exterior is going to be things like your backyard, your roof, your siding, any pavement that you got to do. And then you go inside, you typically have your living room or your porch area. Then you break down what you're going to do in the porch area. Then you have your living room, you break down what you're going to do in the living room. Then you got your dining room, kitchen, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, possibly bedroom 4, bathroom 1, bathroom 2, basement. You know what I mean? You just kind of break it down. Boop, 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 boop. Break it down like that. So, when people are going through your job, people are going through the list, they're like, okay, cool, I got to do that. Da, 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 da. And everyone can bid based on looking at the same scope, same set of work that needs to get done. And it's not a contractor going in and eyeballing, okay, cool, I got to do this and that and that. And then you'll get these drastically big numbers. You got one job at, you got one set of numbers at let's say 60,000. Then you have another set of numbers at 90,000 for the same building. And you're like, well, what the hell? Why are these numbers so drastically different? One contractor might think you want high-end finishes. Maybe you have a New York accent and they know how much money you guys spend on your studio apartment. So he figured, hey, let's spice this thing up. And the other one, might. I feel like I have a slight stuttering problem, and sometimes in my head, I'm laughing at myself. But and the other contractor might not have that same impression, so they're only giving you 60. But if you give them the same thing to look at, right, then it might be that contractor at 60 might actually say 65, and the contractor at 90 might come down to 70. You know what I mean? So now it's okay, cool. You just got to figure out where the $5,000 difference is, and then you wrap it up. Close and manage the rehab. You know what I mean? You make your money when you buy. You keep your money on, how you rehab. So manage the rehab, and don't be scared to fire people, man. One of the things that works really well for me is making sure that we have contractors for specific trades. And that could be a little bit difficult with the scheduling, but it's something that you're definitely going to get better at as you progress with time. If it's a property that you're selling, you flip it, and then once you get the proceeds, you rinse and repeat the process. I typically don't rush to pay off my credit card. You know what I mean? If there's a balance on it, I keep the balance on it. And what I'm doing is I'm going to because it gives me X amount of months, I don't pay it off until the X amount of months run out. And then I pay it, and then I just, shuffle the money to, I get another card and do something different with that. And I promise you, this real estate stuff, it sounds very complicated. It really does sound complicated, but when you break it down, it's really only 4 steps. It's really only 2 steps. Honestly, it's really only 2 steps. You buy it, you manage the rehab. And 3 steps. Manage the rehab. You buy it, manage the rehab, then you get it renovated and rent it out. And then I guess you can manage the tenants or whatever the case may be. But it is not something that's super complicated. I really love what's going on right now where where so many people are looking into the space, because when I got started, I mean, there wasn't this much of an attraction to it. So it's really awesome to see what's going on. But don't overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? The overcomplication is what keeps you stuck in a place, and keeping you stuck in a place is going to prevent you from taking action. And then if you don't take any action, you're never going to progress. And a lot of what I've learned is not from these books, it's not from these courses, it's from me actually being, running through a deal and completely messing it up. And because I messed it up, it's costing me money. And because it cost me money, I never want to mess up again. So those are the ways that I've been able to internalize a lot of these lessons. Now, of course, you're a smart person. I would be better off having paid for, mentorship, coaching, or something like that. A lot of the issues that I messed up, when I was coming up, could have definitely been, could have absolutely been prevented. But what can you do? I'm glad that I made it. But yeah, and so again, also if you're renting it, then what you would do if you're keeping it as a rental property, you would just get the place rented first, have the lease on hand first, and then you do what's called the cash out refinance, get that money, and then you rent and repeat. And this system, once you get it running, it's something you can just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. That's how I'm able to confidently say, okay, cool, I'm aiming for 9 or 8 or 10 units this year, simply because I know what it takes to pull one off. So in order to do 8, right, we got to run 2. We got to get in and out of 2 every quarter. We got to get 2 done every quarter. If we do that, then that's going to put us at the number that we need to put at. So that's why right now I got, I think, 3 bases loaded. 3 bases loaded. And that's kind of like my max right now. We're 1 over where we need to be, which is perfectly fine. Just putting a lot more pressure at Q1 than we anticipated. But then somewhere, somehow, that's going to make up for it. Or we can keep the same momentum and end up with 12 units at the end of the year, which would be perfectly high. I'm not going to complain about that, but I got to be mindful of my finances and if anything, and things like that, as well as my time, because the more units you have rolling, the more eyeballs you got to keep on track of everything and make sure everything is running smoothly, because like Mr. Matthew over here, the conductor, the show goes as the way you orchestrate it. So with that being said, Mr. Robert, I hope this video has helped you, and special thanks to everyone that has watched and support the channel. I think this channel is now making me about $30 a month. So first and foremost, I think that's phenomenal. I'm gonna do a video just on that. But anyways, I really enjoy what I do. Please take advantage of my knowledge. I have been through the ringer, so I'd be more than happy to help you guys answer any questions. And one of the things I love doing is just simplifying it as much as I possibly can. So that's pretty much it. Video is over. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook. My handle on Instagram is Philly Real Estate King. That's the most humblest title that I could find. And we'll take it, show you guys. Yep, Philly Real Estate King. Hit me up. Please don't ask your questions there. Please make sure you email me your questions. That's the easiest way for it to work. Or you can just put it in the comment section. So those are the 2 ways that I'm going to get your questions. Anything outside of that I can't guarantee that I'm going to answer. So all right, I'm done for real.